Yeah, what is Folio is all about? This Folio is a next generation open source library service platform supported by EBSCO and partners worldwide. So what do you mean by partners? So like what I mentioned, implementation partners, technical partners, anybody can implement at Folio and for their institution, for their organization. And we have no concerns, there are no legal implications. So what is Folio all about? I would say it's the new in during this decade. I would say it's the first library service platform. Uh, it's the first in this decade. It integrates print and electronic resource management. It includes traditional library functionalities like an application from third-party providers such as archiving and preservation. It's built on the modern architecture, today's architecture, technology architecture, to ensure continuous innovation. And it's the whole entire concept. It's designed by academic library peers, and of course, it's an open source project. It's not an EBSCO product. It's under the OLF, a non-profit organization dedicated to open source in libraries. So you might be wondering, what some people might be asking, what's the difference between a library service system and a platform? So how we position it, a platform is that something with just like how you see your smartphone is. Your smartphone is a platform. It allows you to download apps, remove apps which are relevant, which are important to you. So this is how Folio behaves, or this is how it's being innovated. With Folio, you could actually download and remove or download whichever apps which are relevant to your organization, to your library. And with this, you may enrich your platform. So this is how we position the platform versus a system model. Any library may load and operate Folio. It's completely free. The codes are right now are available in GitHub. But of course, free when it comes to license. But of course, when you definitely need effort, people, time, machine, servers to actually hold all this, bring all this together. So this the respective institution may source this within themselves, but from a license perspective, it's completely free. Anybody can run Folio anytime they want. It's this Folio, it's under the Apache 2 license, which is the most permissive license. It allows users to use this software for any purpose, distribute, modify, and distribute the modified versions under the terms of license without any concern for royalties. So you practically you don't have to worry much on the legal implications. EBSCO do provide Folio services, but in terms of hosting and migration. But just to be clear, it's not an EBSCO product. We provide hosting support services, just like any other partners, company A, company B, company C, they can be in that position to provide such similar services as well. For EBSCO, we provide such services, and we call it the EBSCO FOLIO services. In terms of we provide the implementation and support. We also provide. Some people might have concern on open source. What about in terms of support? So not to worry, EBSCO will be with EBSCO FOLIO services. We will in position to provide you with that support, as well as with such support, you do not need to hire additional technical staff to manage, to run, to maintain your library platform. This hosting will be done on AWS, and you have the option to integrate Folio with other EBSCO solutions like discovery, serials, book ordering, knowledge base, usage report, and analytics. Excuse me, sorry. So yes, like what I mentioned, any other partners, any other companies in the world, they are free to operate, to host Folio on your behalf. We from EBSCO, we are looking for local partners to assist in local implementation in order to bring a better service level to our end users. We can put this into perspective like Koha, which is an open source library system as well. There are a few, in fact, many companies in the region which provide such similar services from ranging from implementation, support, migration, hosting. So likewise, EBSCO in this region, we are looking for similar partners. Yes, it's not an EBSCO product, but we are open to such discussion for such partnership. And yes, with such partnership, we will expect, at least we could imagine there will be better support for you when it comes to data migration, training, primary support in terms of local language and time zone. And definitely there's better coordination, secondary support with EBSCO products. And lastly, of course, and if the company knows and if this company has been operating and managing the system on your behalf, I'm sure they know a lot more with regards to your campus system and external vendors, which makes integration much better and faster and more efficient. Just in short, I would say these are the partners in the world. So you can see in our region, it's a bit, we are still trying hard to find some partners here to ensure to provide similar services, hosting services to you. In terms of adopters and the community space, as of today, I would say, as of today, these libraries, these institutions, these universities, they have went live. Some have gone completely live with Folio. Some has just gone with just the ERM, the electronic resource management piece. You can see most of these university colleges, they are part of the community and they remain to be committed. And you can see here, Folio has managed to displace some commercially available vendor in the library space. So as you can see here, Folio has, I'm sure these universities, colleges will have done their part, their analysis, their homework to ensure and to be able to be very sure again that Folio fits their domain. And with regards to Koha, such upgrade, if you are coming from Koha, any open source, such upgrade to Folio will benefit the library when it comes to electronic resources, because as far as I know, Koha does not provide a great features when it comes to electronic resources. So we can see here today, those has gone live in 2020 in the middle, and today the latest was the National Library of Italy, Florence National Library. They migrated from the homegrown library system. And coming in 2021, these are not limited to these universities, and there are a few more coming. And all this information, you will be able to see this on the Folio website, which I will share later on. So when it comes to this, the community itself, you can see these libraries, in fact, they participate in the Folio space, giving ideas, sharing ideas, helping the community, helping the product to grow, not only for them, but for everyone. And when it comes to the other part of the world, you can see here, we have some, there are partnership from China itself, from the European side. So yeah, you can see here, it's a global community of academic libraries, where all of us participate in this particular Folio project. Yeah, so if you can always stay in touch with the Folio community through updates, you can keep track of the comments and the development, and of course there are special interest groups which you could contribute your expertise. Whether is it technical, from the functional domain, technical domain, there's always a place for you in Folio. Those links will be shared later on. When it comes to the technology side, innovation, Folio uses modern microservice architecture, which means library can work with different vendors, different teams to develop any applications in their areas of expertise. Folio is not monolithic and uses smaller apps. As a result, libraries can enjoy faster updates, easier updates, better, easier, faster maintenance, and faster development work rate from from these developers. Folio has open APIs, so which means you could integrate easily with any existing system, providing the library more choice, better service for today and in fact for the future. In terms of software release milestone, today we are at the version is called Goldenrod, released just in July. Why Goldenrod signifies a very important milestone in Folio, which I will explain later. And so you can see here, Folio has started from January, in fact earlier, but the actual release comes on 2019, and the next release will be coming in October 2020. I'm very sorry for that. Yeah, so that's the version will be called Honeysuckle. Why Goldenrod is so important here? Because it's considered the minimal viable product, MVP, which means this signifies the completion of version 1 with just enough features and functionalities for Folio to operate as a platform. This is the important milestone that the Folio community has envisioned since they started it. And with this MVP Goldenrod release, any library can operate Folio. But of course, Folio will always be in active development. Nothing will stop. Things will always get better. There will always be improvement as we move on. I'm going to talk about a bit more on the EBSCO Folio services, a service which EBSCO provides when it comes to hosting, supporting Folio. Why actually EBSCO is capable of providing such services? Because we provide ongoing commitments to open source projects such as Koha, Viewfind, Backlight. We have a proven record in terms of security and privacy and performance when it comes to EDS as well as eHost. We are committed to library interoperability, which means an open API and choices. That means libraries are free to operate and to use any system which they deem fit in their space. We also have the most librarians employed by any library vendor, and we have one of the largest technology teams in the community. EBSCO provide implementation services, which means we have to assess what is required here. We provide in ERM implementation, and as well as training, as well as integration with other EBSCO solutions and third-party applications. We provide hosting as well, which I will talk a bit more on the next slide on AWS, which means you don't worry about running and operating, maintaining your server. EBSCO will do all this on your behalf. That means we will have to update all the security patches, all the important patches which could affect your server, and we also monitor your server health. If the CPU, if the processor is running on a very high demand for half an hour, then yes, we will monitor that and we will inform you. So practically, the library will operate as the library do not have to worry all about these technical matters. EBSCO will run this on your behalf and inform you should there be any decisions required. And of course, there will be global and local support via EBSCO in your region, in our time zone, and in our region. And there's a dedicated online community and forums. And of course, there will be testing and release procedures because the moment if you would want to upgrade a component, things might fail. So how do we mitigate this? So there will be a set of testing procedures which we should follow and we will follow to ensure that the moment when you upgrade a component or migrate to a new version, it doesn't break the entire system. EBSCO will be hosting Folio in AWS, Amazon Web Services, because of its high reliability, its redundancy, and this disaster recovery model, which is fairly commendable when it comes to AWS. Its high performance features in AWS allow you to scale what is required when it comes to your library system, and of course the ongoing performance monitoring. Security is also one of the important factor which we always factor in when it comes to hosting, and of course the real monitoring and real-time notifications of any performance and security vulnerabilities. This is a typical implementation process, which should a general implementation process should a customer start with engage when should you decide to engage folio EBSCO folio services. A typical kickoff program would be initiated. This where analysis, and we will analyze your environment. What are the needs? What are the requirements? We proceed by mapping the workflow, and then the migration, and we'll start on such planning. Then move on, we will start the migration process, data migration, and of course the testing. And of course, if you have any other EBSCO products, this can be discussed and integrated. Last but not least, training and handover, change management, and testing. And finally, you may go live with EBSCO folio services. There are some libraries which would just want to implement EBSCO ERM first, or just ERM by itself. EBSCO ERM includes this particular these applications below, where you could use EBSCO knowledge base. Of course, you can use ERM. You can use Folio for your own ERM. You can integrate with GoKB. There's no issues with that. But there is always an advantage. There's always a convenience should you decide to use EBSCO ERM, where these products are all tightly integrated. EBSCO ERM includes applications like agreements, the usage consolidation and loading services, e-holdings, licenses, order and renewals, and things like organization management, if you have managing the vendors, consortia, and other entities. Next, with EBSCO folio services, we can integrate with any other services from EBSCO. Should you have them, this is to provide the library a unified system. In fact, a unified platform system for the end users, for the library, and for the end users, to ensure that the workflow, the services are all tightly integrated, to ensure that they are all in a cohesive manner. I shall explain some of the key features here for Folio in these 4 categories. You may set up multiple campus, multiple library, consortia setup under the tenant feature in settings. In e-holdings, something which I will demo later on, it allows you to manage your holdings from the Folio itself, rather than going to EBSCO eMin, which you can do that as well. It's a bi-directional API which allows you to read and write on both channels. And when it comes to licenses, this is a place where you can manage all your licenses. Your agreements, should you have a hard copy, you may upload this and store them. Use Folio to store the licenses and manage your license terms. Yeah, I'm just gonna deep dive in a bit on EBSCO ERM, which is powered by the EBSCO knowledge base. You may manage the entire life cycle of electronic resources in Folio with EBSCO ERM. So this, in fact, is an evolution from user to discovery. So with EBSCO ERM, you can imagine this. You can manage your holdings, manage custom titles, packages, create contacts, notes, license agreements, manage your budget, order invoices, manage and report and see your counter statistics, and of course, see your cost information. EBSCO ERM is powered by EBSCO knowledge base, which we have over 3 billion objects, 3 billion knowledge base objects. So this allows you to significantly reduce a huge amount of manual work where you have to manage and to keep track of your library resources. So what you have now, if it's a typical, if it's a standard EDS customer, EBSCO Discovery User customer, you have to log into e-admin, go into holding management, manage all your resources in that space. And of course, I'm sure there will be some Excel spreadsheet somewhere that is keeping such records as well. So there's duplication of entries. There's no single version of truth here. So with this ERM, this allows the library to have one single version of truth, one update, and it will update every single channel, every single aspect. So yeah, the EBSCO ERM itself is powered by EBSCO knowledge base. Of course, we may use GoKB, no issues with that. But there's with EBSCO knowledge base advantage, you have all of these title lists, knowledge base objects, titles, packages, all readily available for you to manage and choose and to be managed in your library. Yep. So with EBSCO ERM features, you can get you can get an update to your packages and e-holdings. You do not have to do it yourself. Of course, you need to manage them. You need to tell the system that you have this, but from the start, you do not have to start everything from scratch. These information are readily available. You may use the vendor and packages to view license terms, the vendor context, packages details, and with regards to usage, you may get counter statistics and also as well as cost per use. Some example screenshots where the agreements are central to EBSCO ERM. You can manage the agreements from FOLIO. And when it comes to usage, automatic updates of EDS, and that means users can straight away find the resources right away, straight away. Next, on usage loading services, we have these following features available, as well as consolidation. This is where it's available as well with EBSCO ERM. So with this, I shall provide a quick demo on certain functionalities in FOLIO. Just bear with me while I switch screen. This is the FOLIO demo instance, which I will be logging in right now. So once you're logged in, you're able to see this particular straightforward interface. Of course, this is open source. You may choose to design it in whichever way the library deem fit to suit the library, suit the organization. So first, I'm going to do a sample circulation feature here, where I'm going to try to borrow a book, and let's find a book. All right. So this book interests me, and I'm going to take note of the barcode. All right, next, I need to check out. This is where you enter your you take out your barcode scanner and you scan the student and barcode, and it will show the student information here. The next thing is you scan the book. All right, there's a loan policy which you can set in the settings, and the due date and the time, and I will end this session right now. So this has been considered, this book has been considered borrowed, is out. So just to run through, if I were to check my profile, and let's see if the book is really out or not. Yeah, you can see there's one open loan here. And what's that loan? Yeah, it's that Blue Ocean book, which has gone out. Next, all right. So if the user were to intend to return the book, so it's considered check-in here. And yeah, what's next is I shall scan the book. Yes, this is the book, and I will end my session. So the book is back to the library. Double check again. It's gone. So there's no open loan for this particular user. So this is one sample, a demo for how circulation works in Folio. The next, I would say the next feature, which is very important when it comes to ERM, is the EBSCO ERM bi-directional API updates. So right now, I shall log in to EBSCO admin to simulate how I manage an example of an e-resource. So I believe majority of the users here, EBSCO users, discovery users, will be familiar with the holding management. This is where you enter or you manage your holdings with regards to what the library might have, and as well as you remove those resources which the library has terminated here. So in one example here, DOAJ, you can see there are two packages. One package is selected and only 4 titles have been selected out of this 15,000. So if I were to move on to Folio, I should be able to see the same, and it's not should, I must be able to see the same. Yep, there are two packages here. One selected, but one of the one which is selected has 4 titles selected. True enough, it matches. So a typical library without Folio today might manage this in eadmin, maybe manage this another in Excel or in another department. There's another similar list which they have to manage to ensure that they are aware of what they have. But having 3-4 versions in different departments, there's no single version of truth. If somebody make a change here, that librarian will have to inform at least 3 or 4 departments that they have terminated or they have subscribed something new. Something which we are trying to avoid that, and we are trying to bring some level of convenience here. So let's say if in this case, a typical user, a librarian or whoever's in charge, the administrator, can proceed to manage the holdings in Folio as well. So in this case, let me turn on the second package here, Directory of Open Access Journal, Heal Link. This is not selected at the moment, and it's not selected here from Folio. So the list of titles matches from the one from from the holding management. This is where the knowledge base comes in. Next, let me add this to holdings, which means what I've done is I've selected this particular package, assuming I've selected 9,000 of them and they're all triggered, they're all enabled from the backend, from the knowledge base. So in this situation, under such circumstances, 2 DOAJ packages has been selected, one with 4 titles, the other one with the full set of titles here. So if I were to do a refresh here, you can see this has been updated as well. So you do not have to update this particular information again in holding management. This has been done for you by directional update API. And if I were to felt that, oh, oops, I think I've done this by mistake, let me remove the entire package here. It's not selected now. And yeah, let me do a search again. Refresh this thing. Okay, there you go. It's not selected right now. So this is where the beauty, the power of EBSCO knowledge base combined with the e-holdings API to provide such functionality, convenience to the library. so that you do not have to manage more than one holdings. Everything is there's one single version of truth here. Other things which you might be interest of for you is the settings, where you can change languages. Our customers, at least the community in China, have changed this to Chinese language. We have no issues with that. This is open source. Anybody feel free to do anything here. And yeah, there are some tenants where you could set up your campuses library, which I've shown previously. There are languages which you can set, primary currency. And of course, you may import, export your mark records into Folio. And this is how the inventory, we call it the inventory, which lists all your resources. And of course, the users, this is where people like me as a user, you can find them from this particular application here. So these applications are not limited. These are the standard applications by Folio today in the golden rod. Library can feel free to add in or remove what is not required here, because the concept of the platform, just like in your handphone, if you feel that this particular application apps is not benefiting you in your phone, yeah, you may remove it, replace it with some other apps created by another developer. No issues with that. And in fact, if you could take this as if the library is can innovate an application which is special for that community, maybe perhaps for the Malaysian community or the Singapore community, yep, you can eventually monetize it. You can take it as you can make it, you can earn some, you can take it as revenue. You can earn some amount if you commercialize it. All right, so with this, this is the demo of the Folio product. And coming back, you may find more information, demo. This demo, the demo which I've shown you just now, it's available in wikifolio.org. All the roadmaps, requirements, discussion, the codes are all available on this sites here, which I'm showing right now. And as you can, if you want to take a look how OLF manage this open source manages Folio, please go to YouTube. We have, in fact, all meetings are recorded here to show you the progress of Folio since from the start. So as such, I shall open. I'm sure you have questions, concerns, doubts, opinion. Feel free to enter it in the chat box Q&A, and I will try to answer them in this session.
Hi, Ching-Wei, we have a question.
Yeah, sure.
We have a question reached out. Can Folio run on multiple tabs in the same browser?
Multiple tabs. Yeah, I believe so. Let's see. Yep. Yes, sure. It's possible.
Okay, thanks, Ching-Wei.
Thank you. Most welcome. Anything else I can help to address in this session? But of course, do not worry. If you have any concerns after this, yeah, feel free to email me. I will address, or we will address with you individually. Eric, anything on your side? Because I'm not getting anything from the chat
Yeah,
window.
no other question seems to be coming.
All right.
So, so if you have any post webinar questions that you might not have occurred to you at this point of time, you know where to reach myself and Nor and Ching-Wei. I'm just going to send my email address to everyone so you can send any questions that you have regarding to Folio to me, and we shall attend your queries. Yeah. So, Ching-Wei, do you want to end the session now?
Yeah, wait, Nor has some, there's a few things which I've probably forgotten. Yeah, we can use the I just want to demo the license application here,
Right.
where,
Before you do that, we have another question.
yeah, sure.
Okay, so as some other LMS can only be used at the office, how about Folio?
Some other LMS can be used in the office. One, I might need you to rephrase it. If my understanding is right, so does that mean that they want to use more than one LMS? Is that the question?
I think it's more of a question of whether they can use it like not on site.
Yeah, it can be used anywhere as long as depending on your environment. So yeah, Folio can be used on anywhere, not on site. So what I've done, this demo session, in fact, is internet facing. So it does not matter. You can you can set firewall rules to only limit to within the campus, or you want to open it up to the community, to the internet. There are no issues with that.
Yeah, I hope we have answered that question. All right. Yeah, she says thank you. So
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so this with regards to licenses, this is how it's being managed when it comes to licenses. I'm going to choose Elsevier here. Let's see. So right, when it comes to licenses, the app, it allows you to enter contacts, who are the contacts to contact Elsevier, or whichever group, whichever licenses you intend to. There are core documents we can attach, the terms and following amendments. So let's try edit this. I'm going to show you. Yeah, so you can see whether you can mark this license as active or not yet. When's the start date, when's the end date, give it a short description. If you want to upload the hard copy of your license agreement, 5-10 pages, yeah, go ahead, you may do so. And some of the terms and ILL and other information which are related to licenses. This can be managed here from the license. And of course, yeah, I think I should have shown the agreements application, where, yeah, this shows the listing of the agreements which has been created for demo purposes. So these agreements describe how the resources are managed, ordered, and accessed here. So all right, my turn. I'm going to choose EBSCO this time around. And yeah, you can see here how these agreements are being categorized, being managed here. So yeah, there are two items here: internal context, what are the agreement lines, and the controlling license if it's when the start date. And let's give it edit, you see. Yep. So this is how it's being once you click edit, these are the options that are available to you to modify, to enter what is required here. And this, yeah, it allows you to upload any agreements, hard copy agreements, which is necessary. Yeah, so these are the short demo on licenses and agreements. So at any point of time, just let me see. Yeah, there is a question here. To host only. Acquisition. Oh, okay. If you're looking for acquisition functions, I'm afraid I do not have the acquisitions module in place here. But yeah, I shall follow up with you. I'm sure you please leave a name with us, and we will follow up with you. Okay, so there's one question. Without EBSCO ERM, there will be no knowledge base to be. Well, you can use the Go KB knowledge base. The library has the option. You can use the EBSCO ERM, EBSCO knowledge base, or the Go KB. No issues. But from the plain vanilla folio, of course, there's no KB as well. So yeah, for starters, you can use the Go KB. Yeah. If you go to wiki.folio.org, there's a demo sites section. This is where you may log in as an admin, the user ID, password, and yeah, you may log into these instances to view the same demo which I just showed you just now. Feel free to explore and play with them. GoKB is the open source free knowledge base component which is available here. Whereas the EBSCO KB, it's managed by EBSCO. Go KB is a global open knowledge base which is managed by volunteers. So that's the difference between Go KB and EBSCO KB. Anything else, Ruan, Eric, Nor? Any questions which I failed to address?
No incoming questions. Yes.
Incoming questions. Like I said, don't worry. Yeah, we will follow up with you with our contacts, with our email. I'm sure you have questions after this. Yeah, feel free to email us. We will come back to you, follow up with you individually on those concerns which you might have. All right, with this, I shall wrap this up. Once again, thank you very much for your time, and my apologies again for the delay due to some technical issues which we have to sort this out. Until then, from EBSCO, stay safe, take care, stay healthy.